Okay, we promised you more on the topic, as you homeowners may have to think about in the future. Maybe you already are replacing windows and doors. And we have the expert here on Your View to the Lowcountry. Richard Barron is joining us once again with Hilton Head Windows and Doors. And it's nice to have you back. We just went to break, so we've got a lot more to discuss.
Yeah, a lot to cover.
So I do want to dive in a little bit more to just how you have evolved in your career and life. And it's such an interesting background. And we've heard, a lot about your coaching, and you mentioned that on camera here briefly. How does that translate, and why did that translate? And what have you taken from coaching and brought to this industry here in the Hilton Head area?
Well, a lot of the skill sets, I think, are the same, right? You're motivating, you're building, you're leading. You have to plan, right? There's strategy that's involved. You have to, just like building a program, you need to kind of think about how you get there. You don't get there overnight. You can't just snap your fingers. So there are a lot of similarities, but because I believe so much in coaching, I found a coach for me. And I have a friend, Jeff Ludy, down in Houston, Texas, with Houston Window Experts. And Jeff's somewhat of a rock star in the window and door business. And he's been such a great mentor to me, and really continues to be with how he's helping our company. And we've gone down on a couple of field trips, spent a few days with him, and we've gotten to learn a lot from him.
Yeah, and it is so interesting how the coaching world really does translate so well to business, and what you're doing here, the way that you're working with people, the way that you're building a successful team, and your success can really translate big here in this area. I know, because this is such a great community, and people love to learn too, and you're going to help us do that as
Absolutely.
We go through the show here. So I do want to talk a little bit more about just why windows and doors are so important. You think about all of the different things in your home that you have, and that, some are very functional, some are for enjoyment, but what is it about windows and doors that makes it such a key element?
Well, one thing, it's the only part of your home that's built both to be on the outside and on the inside. So if you make the comparison to roofing's clearly on the outside. The siding, brick, a hardy plank board, whatever it is on the outside, made for the elements. Sheetrock, not so much, right? So windows, however, doors are made to be on both. And so the impact of that on your utility bills, the comfort of the home, the aesthetics, the architectural beauty of a home, right? All is very important. And so that impacts not only the structural soundness of the home, but also the livability of the home.
Right, yeah, it is so interesting. I haven't thought about that before. You really put into context that there really isn't anything else that services both sides, and is really so key to your experience of the aesthetics, but also the energy and all of the things that are just functional. So it's really fascinating when you dive into it. I do want to spend a little bit of time on this segment talking about sort of the what materials there are, what kinds of things you offer.
Sure. Well, like I said, we offer multiple brands, so we're not beholden to just one type of brand or one type of material. But windows have come a long way. There's all sorts of product. There's vinyl product, and there's a wide range there. There's some really great windows that are made with vinyl, and there's some really trashy windows that are made with vinyl. It has a lot to do with the material. Same thing with metal. Aluminum has come a long way. Now, aluminum windows, many are thermally broken, so they don't conduct the heat like they might have in the past.
Okay.
A lot of changes with wood. Wood is obviously the original. That's how things were made, but down here, you're painting those constantly to keep them from rotting. Well, there's something called cladding now. So you can get wood windows where the exterior is clad in a different material. It could be aluminum, it could be a fiberglass or a composite, it could be a vinyl. And so that, again, means that on the outside with the elements, it's something that's weatherproof. On the inside, you have the look of real wood. Yeah. And so there are a lot of different materials out there, composite materials, fiberglass, cellular PVC is very different from other vinyl because of its rigidity. So we look forward to having a new showroom. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And when we do, people will be able to come in, touch, feel, kick the tires, and see about the differences of those windows.
And I said in the first segment, you don't know what you don't know until you're sort of presented with it. I had no idea there were so many decisions to be made. And and why you need to know the differences and have an expert that can really walk you through those things and have the choices, under their one umbrella to be able to provide you, because I'm sure different situations are unique and require a unique product and installation process.
Yeah.
And the process is a whole nother thing to unpack, which we're going to do after the break, so that you understand a little bit about what happens when you get your windows installed and really just how to start that process. So
Sure.
Thanks for the education. We've got more to come on your view to the Lowcountry.